Welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast, your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast, Marvel Monday edition. It's Monday, it's Marvel. I'm Sam, joining me to discuss Hawkeye, the finale. It's Stefan.
I'm hungover. How are you?
I'm fine, mate. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. You're Sam, I'm hungover. That's how this works.
Yeah, that's how it works. So you had a very merry time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, too merry. I had lots of friends around. I had Jack, he was there for a bit, and then Johnny was there for a bit as well.
Was Jack with the surname Daniels?
It was, yeah, and Johnny was Walker. Yep.
Yeah. Well, yes, it is Monday the 27th of December. We hope everybody listening had a really great Christmas and looking forward to a very happy new year. It is Monday, so therefore the show does roll on regardless of the festive season, and this is our discussion. I don't really say reviews, not really a review, it's more just we like to discuss and nerd out over certain things. This is Hawkeye Season 1 Episode 6, the finale, and the title of the finale...
So This Is Christmas.
I was wondering if you were going to sing it.
Yeah, sorry.
So This Is Christmas. First of all, before we go into any details, it does appear that this is the finale. So in the lead up, we did wonder because the promos for it kept saying the season finale.
Yes.
And it kind of caught us going, oh, hang on, are we going to get a reveal at the end that, you know, Hawkeye will return for season 2? But that didn't happen. So whether there's plan, there is, of course, the Echo series, which has already been announced.
Yep.
I kind of feel like that could be a season 2 to this story. If that makes sense.
Well, it's going to have to be the same sort of story, like timeline and stuff, I'm assuming. So, yeah it could almost be the follow-on.
Yeah, that's kind of how that feels anyway. But we'll obviously discuss that at the end. But just overall, my friend, obviously we've had 6 episodes. This is the finale. What were your overall thoughts?
This could potentially be my favourite of the miniseries so far.
You're not alone in saying that.
It is challenging for top spot. Like, WandaVision was my favourite.
Yeah.
Because it was just insane. And every episode you were sat there going, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then it got to the end and everyone was like, oh, it was Agatha all along at the end.
No, it was still Mephisto.
Mephisto.
Yeah.
And that was just amazing. And then Loki was really, really good.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier, Captain America the Winter Soldier, that was really good.
Yeah.
Or the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they were all really good. And I was like, wow. What If was the one that I was still, everyone knows, I was a little bit...
Well let's park the animated stuff.
But then this stuff... but then this kind of came out and I was like, nope, this is brilliant again. I think you've mentioned a couple of times, like you just sit there smiling as you're watching it.
Yeah, I can't make my mind up if they just captured the kind of Christmas spirit in with it, because obviously it released in November, at the end of November.
Yeah.
So literally is the festive season, if you like. So if you think about the American calendar going from Thanksgiving into Christmas, literally the holiday season.
This was that season, wasn't it? Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So you're kind of always that little bit more jolly. that little bit more kind of happy. And of course it was festive in every episode. There were Christmas songs playing, there was snow, there was a man trying to get home for Christmas and me and you dreading that he wouldn't. So there's lots for us to get into, so we will. But I'm like you. I think this has taken top spot for me. I think every show in its way had a real impact on me in a different way. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier is such a... I know a lot of people are like, oh no, it was too political, too this. To me, it gave me so much to think about, and I enjoy that. I don't dislike that. Sometimes you sit and watch stuff and you want it to be pure escapism, and I appreciate that. I know a lot of people felt that way. But for me, it gave more perspective, gave different interpretation on the character. And I came away from that series fully on board with Sam as Captain America, which going into it was just kind of like, oh, how can we have a new Captain? Nah, Steve. Steve Rock. Nah, that's Captain America. You're the Falcon, dude.
Yeah.
But by the end of it, he's Cap now. As far as I'm concerned, that is Cap. So I think the series did a great job there. So with this, I loved it. So let's dive into some stuff, and let's open up with how the show opened up. Let's talk about Kingpin.
He's back.
He is back. And I think the discussion we need to have about Kingpin really is, me and you were fans of the Marvel Netflix shows.
Very much so.
We have encountered this actor and this character because, of course, it's now been confirmed by him via social media and via various interviews. He's been told by the showrunner and everything, he is that guy. It's not a variant. It's nothing else. He is
You
to
play the same character. Yeah.
You are that guy. So his interpretation and spin on it is that he lost a lot in the blip and it was a real chaotic time for him, and feels like he's not quite got the same, grip on the city as he once did.
Yeah.
However, he's now trying to reestablish that, and he's been working towards that goal, and obviously now he's having a few issues at Christmas time.
Yeah.
But how did you feel? Because I was really nervous of all the rumours about him wearing this massive prosthetic suit and stuff.
The whole, he's going to be larger than life, and it was like, his character already is. Don't make him physically that as well. It would have been awful.
What did you think when you saw him come on screen? He comes in with the walking cane as well, which I loved.
Yeah. I loved it.
What were your thoughts?
Once again, my God, that guy's built like an outhouse. He is a huge bloke, isn't he?
It's funny. I mean, he is obviously wearing a kind of bulking him up a bit, but his presence, do you know what I mean? It's like he could be 5'10", but I think his presence is massive.
Yeah, when he's in the room, he is in the room.
Yeah, and there's something about the way he's captured the sentence structure, the way he's designed it with this character, the way he speaks.
Yeah.
Everything's menacing. Like, this guy could literally just be inviting you to, like, cross the road or something like that, and you'd be like, no, I'm going to get murdered, aren't I? Why does your voice sound like that?
Yeah.
Everything.
Cross the road.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you're right.
You will cross the road ahead of me now. It's like, why are you sounding so scary?
I don't even need to cross the road, but okay, I'll do
it. Yeah, fine, I'll do it to get away from you. Yeah, but like I said, the guy, he does a phenomenal job. I'm so delighted they brought him back, because for me, because I was such a fan of those shows, if they'd recast, and I would have understood why they'd do it, I might have struggled a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Because for him, he kind of took that character, he created that character for me and took it to a place in TV where it works.
Yeah,
I'm aware of the comic book adaptation, and of course, everyone, a vast majority of Marvel fans would have seen Into the Spider-Verse, the animated show. For me, that doesn't translate to live action. It can't. Do you know what I mean? It's like it doesn't work.
He's not some massive, just squared off bloke. Yeah,
yeah.
You need an actual person, and you need someone with his presence that he has.
Yeah,
to be able to do it.
To fully grasp why this guy is so feared.
Yeah.
And I think that is something as well, which I don't overly think they dealt with in this episode. And perhaps this is a true sign that 6 episodes wasn't enough for the story they wanted to tell.
There's still more to come, yeah.
Yeah, because Barton's afraid of him. And Barton's an Avenger who fought Thanos.
Yeah, this is something we spoke about. I can't remember if it was on the podcast or on the phone texting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he's fought Loki, who was a god.
Yeah.
He's fought against Ultron, which was a world-ending AI. And then he fought Thanos, which was a world-ending being.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no, Kingpin. Oh no, this one guy. And oh no. It's like, what has this guy done?
Well, I think it's interesting because, like you said, we kind of laughed that he's fought aliens in New York. He's fought the robots in Sokovia. Now he's fighting the tracksuit mafia. What up?
Yeah.
It's kind of, as Ronan, he took on the Yakuza, and here he is with guys who look like they'd fall over more if it wasn't for someone telling them how to walk straight.
A guy who's a bad guy who thanks Kate Bishop for giving him advice on how to talk to his wife.
Mate, didn't you laugh? Didn't you crack up at that?
Laugh.
That could have been so bad. That could have been so naff. But it was done great because we've seen that guy about 3 or 4 times, and you got the impression he was just like a dippy,
this is my job.
numpty. Yeah. This is just my day job. I show up, I intimidate people, and the way he's like, and she says to him, "What's with the gun?" He's like, "Hey, whoa!" Yeah. So she kicks his ass, which is great. But yes, focusing on Kingpin, Fisk, his presence and his scariness. I still think there's going to be a link between him and Laura Barton. Obviously, we'll come on to the watch and everything at the end, but I think that could be why Clint had a fear of him. You know, obviously he's a big guy, menacing guy, clearly jacked, which again is something I want to talk about. But I don't imagine Barton being afraid of him in a one-on-one fight. I don't imagine Barton being afraid of the tracksuit mafia and the people he commands. It's almost like there's a fear there because there's some sort of link that would cause him problems.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, Clint wouldn't be bothered if someone's trying to kill him. Clint would be bothered if someone was trying to get to Laura and the kids.
Talking of the kids, very quickly, I found something out which made me geek out just a little bit.
All right, bring it.
So his daughter is Lila Barton.
Yeah.
Played by Ava Russo.
Yeah.
Who is Joe Russo's daughter.
I did not know that.
I did not know that. It was a little thing. I saw it pop up and I was like, that can't be real. And I've looked it up. Yeah. And she is actually the daughter of one of the Russo brothers. Yeah.
Ah, well, it's not what you know.
Exactly, right?
Well, she's been in it a while because the kids haven't changed, have they? The casting's been the same.
She has been in it since Ultron.
I love that. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So Kingpin meets with Kate's mum. What did you think about that scene?
There was that little bit of a ha! I knew she was the baddie. Ha! The other guy, poor Jack, is too obvious. It was definitely always her.
Jack ended up just being an eccentric billionaire with a sword.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, he was the Ralph Boner in this, wasn't he?
Oh, God, when he yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, it's going to be him. No, he is just... he has no idea what's going on. Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's Ralph Boner. What I'm interested in with this meeting is she ended up working with Kingpin because of her husband's debt.
Yeah.
So there is a tie there somewhere between Kate's father and Kingpin. That surely can't just be throwaway. That surely is going to open up something.
That's got to be kind of announced somewhere that there's going to be something, even if it's in the Echo thing we're going to get or what. That there's a big bit of information for them just to go, here it is, bye-bye.
Because it was a line. It was just like, you know, I was indebted to you, you know, your husband owed me a small fortune. She's like, yes, and I've repaid that several times. Yeah. Fisk points out, yes, and you've made a lot of money out of the relationship. His kind of demeanour in the meeting was interesting to me. The kind of, in the spirit of the season, I'm going to give you a minute to think about this.
Yes!
That was, again, like a guy saying, look, consider your options, but you said it in a ridiculously menacing way.
Yeah, I'll let you think about it, but there's only one answer.
Does she threaten him? She kind of says she's got an insurance policy, everything, and it's in a safe place. So I'm kind of like, did you really just threaten Fisk? Is that really the way to go?
That's not a good, like anyone can tell you, that's a bad thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the guy for a start. I mean, she's clearly been working with him for long enough. But then at the same time, in this meeting, she does reveal she killed Armand.
Yeah, she admits it.
So what the hell is she capable of?
Of killing a man, apparently.
Well, yeah, definitely. But if someone's capable of killing one man, then she's clearly capable of doing a lot worse.
Yes.
I don't know about you, man, but just like Kate's mum in this scene, the opening scene, went from You know, is she involved? How much is she involved? How much does she know? Is she kind of involved in a reluctant way? Is she involved in a kind of, oh my god, what have I got myself into way? And no, she's a full-on murdering, evil, empiring villain.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah, and that all kind of comes out in that one scene. And Yelena's recorded the whole thing and sent it to Kate.
Which was fantastic, yeah. By the way, look at this.
Yeah, is that being a good mate, or is that just cruel?
I haven't quite worked that one out yet, yeah.
You know, it's so like your best friends are the ones willing to give you the news you don't want to hear.
That was seriously
fat in those jeans, yeah.
But, yeah.
That was to another level. Do you think that Barton took her mum being the one that hired Elena to kill him really well?
Yeah, I expected him to be a little bit more pissed at that. Yeah.
It's kind of like he's lived his life where most people he meets seem to want to kill him. And he just sort of went, oh, okay.
That makes sense. Yeah, she did tell me to leave you alone. Makes sense.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, that kind of, that ties together neatly in my brain. It's almost like knowing was a relief rather than knowing was... Because like for Kate, knowing that was massively
Bombshell.
problematic. Yeah. For him, it's like, oh, okay. All right, yeah, that figures. I thought there might be someone else, so it's all good.
Yeah, I've now ruled out a lot of people, so now I know that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, I had a big list.
Yeah. Do you know how much Ronan did in those 5 years? Like, seriously, that was a list of people that could have got me.
Seriously, how dead would I be?
Yeah, now I know it's just your mum. Like, okay.
There's a line that happens in this, because Kate's freaking out, wants to go and do it, and she says to Barton, look, just go home, this is now just purely on me, this is my mess. And he says, Kate, you're my partner. Dude, yeah. I was smiling. I was like, oh, that was amazing.
See, for me, I really smiled, and then I suddenly went, no way, someone's going to die. Like, we've done too many programs and too many podcasts. Someone said, we're going to spend the rest of our lives... Oh, she's dead. I'm used to that. I'm used to that. So now I was like, we're partners. And I'm like, no!
If he had said, Kate, we're partners, and both of us are going to be alive at the end, I'd have been like, God damn it, no!
Well, now someone's dead, yep.
Yeah,
but the way you said, I'm your partner, we're in this together. No! Yeah. Take it back now. Take it back right now.
I loved it. I was just absolutely over the moon with it. But there's another scene which, again, so we talked about how much we smiled during this show. And we talked about the kind of the joy and the dynamic between these two. Her reaction to him saying the partners thing was great, and it was like a real, oh my god, I'm Hawkeye's partner, which is fun, and it's been a great dynamic she has. But how great was it on the train when he turns to her and goes, we're gonna need a whole load of trick arrows. And she's like, you can make more?
Out. Yeah.
His face, he kind of looks at her like, duh.
Yeah. For him, it's just run-of-the-mill, like, I'm going to go back to the workshop, make some more. Yeah. To her, that's like, oh my god, I'm going to get to shoot trick arrow. Oh my god, I'm going to get to myself. Oh.
Well, of course, he'd said to her before about, oh, no, there aren't any more trick arrows, you know. I've only got the ones I've got, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And the way he just says it to her, like, you can make more? And he's like, hee, yes, I can. And the fact she's got a label maker, and she labels one of them too dangerous.
I loved that. Yeah, labeling each one.
Another Pym arrow, which, of course, results in one of the absolute hilarious moments in the whole friggin' show.
Yes. What do we do now? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
but you notice she says what happens next. He says, I really don't know. I'm going to have to ask Scott.
Yes.
Yeah, so clearly Scott Lang has helped him with a couple of Pym particles over the time.
Yeah.
And so we had one to make it bigger, where he turned that arrow huge and slammed through the bridge. And this one where he shrunk the truck. I mean, that was hilarious.
And then, what happens? I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm going to have to ask Scott.
Yeah, I've not really done this before. I don't know.
No.
Does it regrow by itself after a certain amount of time? I have no idea. Like, and then the bird comes in, swoops it off, and it's like, that deals with that.
Yeah, it's like, well, there goes that problem. We don't have to think about it.
Yeah. But in the same time, he doesn't have to think about it anymore. But in my head, I'm kind of like, are they now in a tree somewhere and suddenly going to be like, boom, full-size truck? Because that's going to scare the crap out of a few people as they walk past.
It never, yeah. So the make. I mean, I've actually written here making trick arrow scene. That was joyful. I really loved that.
It was just fun, wasn't it? Just fun. And let's say her with the label maker. This one does slime arrow, electric arrow, far too dangerous arrow.
Yeah, the magnetic one. Which, by the way, when you saw it being made, like, so it's like a real strong magnet on it.
Yeah.
And he kind of tests it, the thing, and then he dials it right up.
Yeah.
And then that's done. And then when they're actually having that fight, and all the guys are surrounding him with guns, and he fires it into the post, which turns them all into an electromagnet. I was like, oh my god, that's incredible.
It's so cool.
Because, of course, from our point of view, it's like, how can two people with bows and arrows fight off about 100 guys with machine guns? Yeah. Well, he's just taken all the guns out in one go.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah.
That's how it happens. Yeah, a few of them have got backup weapons which they deal with as well, but that was so good.
Yes.
So good.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, so we have the party, which you know, the mum's throwing this big annual party, which has been hinted at before in previous episodes.
Yeah.
Kate and Barton go, looking very good, very, very dressed very well.
Yeah.
And the LARPers are there.
All the LARPers have been hired as his agents. It's amazing.
I am cracking up at this, that the LARPers have ended up being what I thought was going to be a throwaway joke scene from episode 1 or 2. And they've reappeared once, and I was kind of like, oh, that's fun. They went to see the LARPers again. To him showing up at that guy's door and basically them staying on his couch. I'm like, oh, that's fun that he's now part of it, you know, friends with Barton. To them basically being deputized into this and having a role. It just... There's the moment when the LARPers are trying to help and they throw on their costumes and Clint's in the tree and he just goes... We're all going to die.
Yeah, we're all going to die. No one's listening to them at all. So they're like, guys, it's time. Come back out dressed as Vikings. That way!
He said, and they did listen at that point, which is hilarious. They're there in work uniform waiters trying to navigate all these millionaires away from windows and no one will listen to them. They throw on some costumes and everyone's like, oh, okay, you're heroes.
Yeah. We'll follow you anywhere.
So what are your... Obviously, again, I know I'm jumping around. Kingpin and Maya's scene early on, which then links us to where we are. Maya's kind of like, yeah, don't worry about it. I've dropped it. I'm not going after him anymore. You know, I'm just going to take some time off. And he's like, yeah, sure. And she leaves and Kingpin immediately turns to his henchman and goes, yeah, she's against us now. You know what to do.
Yeah, that was like, wow. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kazi's now been set off to go kill her. And it's like, what?
Yeah, that to me was... it was kind of strange because, of course, it's been set up that Maya... She called him uncle, remember? It was like, you know, your uncle's going to pick you up. And so he's been around her whole life.
Yeah.
She's now been told by Barton that Kingpin was the one who told him to go and kill he basically went and killed all these people due to a tip-off from him.
Yeah.
And now we got this situation where she has listened to that. Clearly she must have had things in her head already. You know, you wouldn't take the word of Barton over someone who's been part of your family for your entire life.
Yeah, it's not like Tony Stark went and met Thanos and Thanos went, but actually Captain America's the guy that did it. And he goes, okay, let's go. You wouldn't, would you? Yeah. It's your enemy. You would be like, wait a minute.
You'd be, hang on. But clearly she must have had some stuff in her head. And when he said it, it obviously clicked into place. Like, oh my God, I've been blind. I've been blinded by rage at Ronan. Not to think about the bigger picture. Because he says to her, you know, I was a weapon. I was full of rage and I was pointed at things and fired. Being angry at Ronan's like being angry at the gun when you should be angry at the person who pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
So she then thought about it. I think when she asked that guy, you know, how close are they? I mean, they've obviously been around each other for a long time.
I was wondering if there was a romantic... At the beginning of the season, I thought... Is there a romance there, or are they just good friends? It turns out that they're almost like cousins. The way, like, if she calls Fisk her uncle, then I would say they're almost like cousins, sort of thing. You know, they seem to have a real strong bond. But then it's like, gotta go kill her.
Yeah, and I don't. She struggled when they went ahead. She struggled with it. He didn't seem to. He said words like he was struggling, but his actions didn't appear to be someone who was struggling trying to kill her. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. He would have got the job done if he had been able to.
Yeah. No. So Maya leaves. Kingpin sets Strozzi after her, but then redirects Strozzi when Kate's mum decides to end their business relationship. Yeah. So this brings us back to the party. Strozzi is trying to line up a sniper rifle. He spots Barton and thinks, "Ooh, here's a chance. I'll put Hawkeye down." Barton sees the laser sight coming through the window and the champagne flutes. Gunfire, madness, bedlam. Who else shows up to the party,
insanity.
Buddy?
Yeah. Like,
Elena.
If everything's going bad already, the last thing you need is then the Black Widow assassin after you to also
show up
appear.
Yeah, and so she rocks up. "Can I take your coat, miss?" "No, thank you." I'm like, she's dressed to fight. She's come to do some killing. So this brings me to the next scene, which had me smiling, grinning, and just in love with this show and in love with two characters. Kate spots Elena going after Clint.
And they try to get the lift. Oh.
Kate chases after her. They get into the lift together because Barton's on 12. And Elena, "No, stay." And she jumps in the lift and she's like, "Ah!" And then she tries to go for the buttons.
It just slaps her hand away.
Like, no. Eventually, wrestle a couple of times. And by the way, she smacks her in the face.
Yeah,
and
hey!
Like, what was that? So I go, "I'm sorry. Don't hurt me." And she pulls the dress that she's wearing off. And of course, it reveals the very cool costume that's been made underneath. Yeah. Elena, "Did you plan that?" "Yes." "Really?" "No."
Yeah, no, it just works well. Yeah.
Presses all the buttons. Elena, "Oh, that is so annoying."
Yeah.
Throws her coat at her and runs off. The two of them then kind of fight through an office, like an open plan office. It's hilarious because the two of them are fighting, and it's like Spider-Man fighting in Captain America Civil War. Just basically talking and getting on. And there's one bit where she's about to throw something through the window. Kate knocks it out of her hand. She's like, "That hurts so much." And then they end up having this compliment session of how they've hurt each other.
Yeah,
and
you think that hurt? You kicked me in the ribs. Yes, but you threw me.
"Stop making me like you."
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah.
And jumps out the window, runs down the building, very Black Widow style, tries to kill Barton, misses just misses him, and then lands on the ground. She then vanishes for a bit. I've seen a lot of people with reaction and stuff online "Oh, I didn't like the finale. It's this weird thing where characters kept vanishing." That didn't bother me. She's a Black Widow assassin. I'd expect her just to vanish into a crowd and wait for her next opportunity.
You are spot on.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect her to just stand there and be like, "Come on, Barton, come to me." She's gonna vanish again, out of sight, and then reappear when she spots her moment. So,
yep.
Yeah, I didn't really see that as an issue. What did you think about Kate jumping out of that window and basically only just stopping herself from splatting, but does a superhero landing?
Oh, it was brilliant. All of it, her, "I can do this, I can do this, I can do this."
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Past the window where Barton was screaming, and he's just like, "What the fuck?"
And she's literally there. The superhero lad looks up I survived. I survived. Doesn't even acknowledge
shocked.
the fact that she's done a superhero landing. She's literally just there "Oh, I survived." Okay.
Yeah, that was hilarious. The tracksuits then rock up. Now, the tracksuits are there, and we saw a lot of vans, so we're assuming all those vans were full, because there's a lot of them.
God, they're just...
a lot of them. And she starts fighting them on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
We have that moment with that guy. That's hilarious. We talked about it already, but that's just so funny.
Yeah.
And then Jack appears with his sword.
Just swinging it around,
So there's two aspects of this that I want to discuss. One, we've now basically got confirmation that Jack was just a complete airhead billionaire who didn't know that he was being framed, was completely set up by Kate's mum.
Yeah.
You know, in a previous scene, he like walks into the party and says to like Kate's mum, "Oh, we need to talk," and she's like, "Not now." And he's like, "Oh, okay." It's like this woman framed you, put you in jail, and you're still so cool as to be like, "Oh, okay, no worries. When you're free."
Yeah. If you could come talk to me after the entrees come out, that'd be great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just. But then the second part I want to bring to this is the dude grabs his sword and just starts cutting up the tracksuit mafia. He isn't taking out shins. He's slicing and dicing them.
I wonder if we're going to see him reappear now that he's there.
Yeah.
Is he going to become the swordsman like in the comics?
Well, yeah, I mean, there is that character there. I can't make my mind up because your part of you thinks perhaps, but the other part of you just sort of thinks fun cameo.
Yeah.
In the kind of thing, fun tease that he could have been a villain and could have been this character. Sometimes it's better just to go, that was fun. Let's leave it. Because I think if you wanted him to become like a superhero, the guy would need to be a lot smarter than he is.
Very true.
You know, think about all the times he got all those idiosyncrasies completely wrong. All of the sayings he gets wrong.
Yeah.
Distance
whole makes the heart grow colder.
Yeah.
What?
He's being arrested. He's like, I've never worked a day in my life. You know,
Yeah.
The guy can't be a superhero. You cannot have him. He's like the worst version of Batman ever. A billionaire with no worthy of thinking at all. He literally would be what Batman should be, which is just a billionaire who doesn't understand the world.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I don't think it's needed. I mean, it's there and it's possible. Hell, we could have the same actor play a variant version where he is an absolute beast of a hero or a villain.
Yeah.
Because this is now where we are with the MCU. But for this show and for that, it was kind of perfect. You know, I don't think it needs more, if that makes sense.
No, I get you.
Yeah, but at the same time, if done right, I wouldn't be upset by it. You know, it's kind of like, I feel like you can park that. Not every character you meet needs to become something, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And I joked about being the Ralph Bonner. It's not. The Ralph Boner thing really did leave a bit of a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths, I think.
Yes. It really
with
did.
this, yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I know, mate. Yes. I know. Yeah, group hug here. But with this, I came away from it again just still smiling and laughing.
Yeah, I genuinely believe the Ralph Boner thing is the reason Hawkeye beats WandaVision. As my favourite show. Because there was nothing in this that was there was nothing left kind of in this like that.
I will tell you that the after credit scene was my Ralph Boner.
Oh, I loved it. We will
come back to the trolling Kevin Feige in a moment. So we have basically the fight scene, if you like, the big boss level fight. Clint and Kate taking on the tracksuits, and we finally get the two of them side by side. And we
Kicking ass.
We get Barton out of a tree first. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it down. No.
And he just keeps saying, "Repeat after me. I'm not gonna do anything stupid." And timber. And he's like, "What?" But the two of them are then fighting on the ice, and he takes off the tux to reveal he's in his costume.
He's wearing his suit. I loved it. You put it on.
She is over the moon. She is so giddy with like, I told you, branding, and he's like, yeah. So that was great because even though those two were then fighting countless bad guys, again there was just this element of kind of fun, element of I'm loving every minute of this.
And I think because of the different arrows that he had, it made it more, in quotations, realistic.
Like you
said, it would have been a case of, there's 100 of them, 2 of you, and you've got a stick and arrows. Way, but then he hits the electromagnetic thing, and all the different gloops and all different things that they do with the arrows, and take out so many of them so quickly. You're kind of like, this makes sense. This is cool. This is damn cool.
It does, and it was damn cool. And of course, we've got sort of subplots everywhere because, of course, Maya then takes out a few of them herself and goes after Strozzi. That in itself is one hell of a fight.
Yeah.
Probably because of the kind of emotional context to it, where she doesn't want to kill him. She seems to be saying to him, "Let's be together. Let's,
we'll
leave
run away."
this life."
Yeah, her and Cassie have kind of got that chance to. There's a chance there for him to put the gun down and go.
Yeah,
we'll go do this, but he doesn't, and it's like, oh, damn.
So she kicks his ass, and I think she ends him. I think he's dead, but a lot of people online don't think he is.
No?
No, a lot of people seem to think that he's going to rock up in Echo. I personally think she ended him, didn't you?
I thought he was gone.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, so I'm sticking with that. I saw nothing in that would suggest to me that he survived. He certainly wasn't watching the Rogers the Musical because I was looking out for someone being there, and no one was there. No one was there, Stefan. Anyway, I'm going to get to that. You're
going to get to it.
Obviously, we then got a big scene where Kate finds her mum and Barton fights Elena. So, which do you want to do first? Barton versus Elena or Kate, mum, Kingpin?
Let's do Kate, mum, Kingpin because I think you sent me a message saying this is the first time you think there has been a mistake. And when I watched I saw the moment when I watched it. And I think I was so into it, I didn't think about it. Yeah. And then I've watched it again since, and I'm like, there's one bit here that just makes no sense at all.
Yeah, good. I'll grab it. So let's throw this out there first of all. So Kate's mum's in the car. Her driver's dead. Her other sort of bodyguard gets taken out. And the door of the car gets completely ripped off its hinges and thrown. And it's Fisk. It is Kingpin.
Now, that guy has been on the weights. Like, he's ripping car doors off. That guy's stooped.
I want to put something to you. I've got an idea with this, which I think works in this universe as it is, okay?
Yep.
Fisk, as we know from the Marvel Netflix shows, big, powerful guy, not super powered, but was strong, like his rage and his strength and everything. He was able to do some messed up stuff.
He could pick you up and throw you across the room without wincing. Yeah.
But in this, he took an arrow to the chest. He was wearing a Hawaiian shirt, not one of his suits with bulletproof everything woven into it. He took an arrow to the chest and batted it off. He took a car to himself and batted it off. The guy got blown up and batted it off. I think if you want to tie this series into the other series we've seen, I think Fisk got hold of some of that super soldier serum on the black market
from the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Because if you think about who Fisk, the Underworld, and we know that the Underworld was being run by the power broker out of that sort of town, and Fisk would have definitely been involved with these people. Now that guy with the serum in him is a frightening proposition.
Gosh, yes.
And for me, that is the only explanation you can give for him being able to take an arrow to the chest like it was nothing.
Yeah, the car door.
The car hitting him. The car door being ripped off like it was nothing. Do you see what I mean? It's just like, to me, that really makes sense. And I think it would also explain what comes next quite logically, in my opinion. So, what happens is Kate distracts him. He goes for Kate. There's going to be a confrontation. I'm worried for Kate in this moment for obvious reasons.
Because this guy's a monster,
Yeah, and then out of nowhere, a car hits him through a shop window.
Like, full on, they've had a hell of a run up and taken him out. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the bit which I'm lost on. Fisk rips the door off, shouts at her. Kate is there and distracts him.
Yes.
In the 10 seconds of him walking away from the car and the camera angle changing to Kate and them having a confrontation, that means that her mum has jumped from the rear of the vehicle, removed the dead driver, which, let's face it, unless she's some sort of superhero, the Flash, is not an easy thing to do, and she's definitely not. Got into the driver's side door with it facing on different direction.
Side on, yeah.
Driven the car out, turned because it hits head on, and then accelerated at velocity, where it would hit him at the speed it hit him and plant him through that window. and that happens in seconds.
Let's say at most
there's a
20
problem
seconds.
There. Yeah, there's a problem there. That to me, there's an editing error or something. That is the only thing I've seen in these shows where I've gone, wait a minute, how in the hell did that happen?
Yeah.
And I've watched it again. I stand by it. That's how did that happen?
At a very maximum, you've got about 20 seconds there.
Yeah. And
in 20 seconds, I could probably get from the back seat of my car, the body out, and sit down.
Yeah. I mean, and that's moving, isn't it? That's not allowing for any kind of, oh my god, I'm in shock, I just watched the guy rip the door off. Oh my god, there's my daughter over there. Oh my god, he's going for, you're literally, the second he looks away, you're springing into action. It doesn't seem likely, and even if it does seem likely, it's still too fast.
Yeah.
But we're going to park that like she parked the car, and we're just going to say, okay, that happened. We don't get it. Maybe at some point other people address it as well and we'll look out for it. But he gets put through the shop window. Kate engages in a fight with Kingpin.
Yeah, that was brave.
I've seen you big time brave. One of the things I've seen online constantly since this episode aired is that people feel that Kingpin was diminished in this episode because Kate held her own against him. What's your thoughts on that before I give you mine?
So there's a little part of me that agrees. There's a little part of me that is like, yeah, to be fair, the Kingpin that we know of could have very easily just destroyed her. However, I don't think that was his intention anyway. He throws her around a lot, but he's literally constantly get out of my way sort of movement. It's not... We watched him versus Deadpool literally grab Deadpool's head and start slamming it into things.
Daredevil.
Daredevil, so he picks his head up and starts slamming it into things. Stuff. That's trying to do damage. This is constantly throwing her to the side. I'm going to get her, get out my way. So
I'm with you in that. I'm kind of like Kingpin for me in that whole fight. At no point tried to kill her. He just constantly was trying to remove an obstacle.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting to me about that is why. Why would Kingpin not kill someone who's trying to kill him or stop him? Do you see what I mean by that? It's like, why would he have a hesitance? What is the link? What is this kind of... Does he know who she is? Do you see where I'm going with this? It's kind of like... I mean, I think she says, like, get away from my mum or something like that. So, I don't know. I mean, clearly he did business with her dad.
Yeah.
And clearly her dad owed him money. And clearly he's then done business with the mother for a long time.
Yeah.
And he's now very unhappy because the mother doesn't want to work with him anymore.
Yeah. You don't say no to Kingpin. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. You don't end that business relationship easily. So... I don't know. It's intriguing to me because the characters we know, again, he doesn't get his hands dirty. He would normally send like a squad in before he rocked up himself.
Yeah.
Him getting involved is almost like a desperation, a last resort thing. And again, I don't think he's necessarily... I don't know. I mean, he rips that door off and he says to her, I need to talk to you. I think you're coming with me.
Yeah.
Maybe his intention wasn't to kill her either. Maybe his intention was to grab her, take her somewhere and say, did you really threaten me?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he wouldn't have done it or got someone else to put a bullet in her. I'm just saying that it feels like he rocked up there with an objective involved, not necessarily to kill.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. I can't make my mind up because, like you, I can understand why people have that little bit of criticism, but to me, I took away from that scene that he was electing not to go.
He was pulling punches, yeah.
But also, I think it's very difficult, I think, and again, this is for me to say, for guys to look at a monstrous man as Kingpin being potentially defeated by a girl.
Yeah.
And I think if Elena had fought Kingpin, because Elena has got a bit more of a reputation and we've all seen the film, no one would bat an eyelid. I think because it's Kate, people are questioning it.
Yeah, like, oh, come on, this girl only started 2 weeks ago, really doing anything. Come on.
Whereas we really should be looking at it as this establishes just how tough Kate is.
Yep.
Because Barton then says to her when they're sat at the ambulance, like, you went one-on-one with Kingpin.
Not many people come out of that.
No, he's like, that's amazing. And so to me, I think that's what they were trying to tell. I think Kingpin was in that not necessarily trying to kill her.
Yeah.
I think towards the end he might have been getting there. but I don't think that was his goal in that initially. I think it was just get out of my way. I've got an objective in mind and you're getting in my face.
Yep.
But she does hold her own, and she deserves the compliments of that from Barton. And I think that's what we were getting at, which is this whole show really is the handover. It's for Clint Barton to hand over Hawkeye to somebody else.
Agreed.
And she had to be worthy of that. And it's kind of like this whole 6 episodes is her going from just a fangirl with skills to being someone who fully understands what it is to be Hawkeye.
And worthy of being... Maybe we've been talking about the Young Avengers or the New Avengers.
Yeah.
And if that was to take on, she is now proving herself worthy of being in the Young Avengers or the New Avengers.
I think something that a lot of people are realising, and it started as a bit of a joke on Reddit, that someone worked out that the Avengers are 5-0 in battles when Clint's there, and 0-4 when he's not. So basically, any time Barton's fighting with the Avengers, they've won, and any time he's been against them or not there, they've lost.
Fair.
So all of a sudden, the guy with the bow and arrows made a big friggin' impact on the Avengers.
Yeah.
He's clearly, the workhorse of the team that without, they struggle. There's the other scene where, of course, she gets her mum arrested. She has called the police on her mother. The police rock up. The cop that gave her his card and number earlier in the show is the one that shows up to arrest her. And she says, is being a hero arresting your own mother?
Yep.
And Kate's just like, love you, mum.
Yeah.
But I think that's pretty much bang on a hero, isn't it? Like sacrificing a personal relationship for the greater good.
Yep, she hasn't killed her. She has done the right thing and handed her over. Yeah.
That is hero level. And she doesn't say, I hate you or anything like that. So I love you, mum, but you're going to jail.
Yeah, you're a bad person, so...
You've done some bad stuff. But also, another thing that made me smile was Barton sat in the ambulance with her, and Barton says, sometimes in this life you meet people that just make you better. And you can see Kate's going like, oh, okay, try not to cry. And then he starts complimenting the woman who made the costume. She's like, shut up!
Yes!
Be nice to me! Just let me have this!
Yeah.
And he's like, I know. Yeah. So that is... From that point of view, unless there's anything else you want to touch on with that kind of boss fight, we'll move to Elena versus Barton.
Yeah, I think that's all for that one. So yeah, it's the Elena Barton fight, which was a brilliant fight scene as well.
It does sound like we're talking boxing matches, doesn't it? Yeah. The old Fisk versus Bishop and the Barton versus Elena.
Let's get ready to. That's all you can say, because otherwise, if you say any more than that, it costs you millions. Yeah.
Probably at this thing, especially if I do the impression of him, which I can.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's get ready to
pay-per-view around the world. Anyway, we'll stop now. So she rocks up on the ice and she's kicking 7 bells of crap out of him, and I think there's a mirror here. I don't think Fisk at any point tried to kill Kate. I think he was just trying to remove her out of the way.
Yep.
I don't think at any point Barton's trying to fight Elena. He's just trying to defend himself.
Oh, completely agree. Yeah.
Yeah, and he does that. And then she gets... Sorry. There's this bit where he's tried to explain to her. He's tried to kind of talk to her whilst getting a kick in. And he says to her... kind of everything pauses and he says to her, like, she made her mind up. She sacrificed herself. And she just unravels this basically like this kind of like metal beating stick. I don't know what that is other than just to say it looks nasty and it's going to mess somebody up.
Oh, yeah.
And she just starts pummeling him, and it's like every connection on it, you're almost like a broken skull, fractured up, yeah, nearly dead. It's just like, she is pummeling.
That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. That really hurt.
That's really hurt. I mean, he holds her in like a headlock at one point again, trying to explain to her, trying to get her to listen. She won't, throws him down. She goes to pick up the gun, and then he does that whistle. Man, there was a nerd out at that moment, because me and you had discussed so much, how much did Nat talk to him about her, and he then reveals he knew everything. Like, she told him everything. They were that close as friends that he knew everything, and he says, like, she talked about you all the time. And how quickly did Elena revert to that little girl that just wanted her sister to love her?
Yeah. Oh, she loved me. What did she say? What did she say?
Because that was it. Like the first, what did she say?
Yeah.
She talked about me all the time. I want details. I want every word.
Yeah, tell me everything.
And I gotta tell you, man, Florence Pugh's amazing.
Yeah.
Because how can you create a character where I am totally invested in believing that she could have pulled that trigger on Barton, to the point that I am genuinely nervous she'll kill him.
Yeah.
And that will be like a ultimate what the hell arc going forward of trying to resolve that. I'm like right there thinking this could happen. This could be so messed up that it could happen. Or she could end up getting hurt. How can I go from believing that to then him doing that whistle and her then being completely disarmed and being this child almost, this kind of little sister just desperate for her older sister's approval, and she does it with a facial expression and what did she say? Just a few words. I mean, that's phenomenal, don't you think?
Oh yes. Like
how invested were you?
Changes like. Literally, with that whistle, that entire scene, it goes from her, like, you're lying, stop lying, admit it, stop lying, stop lying, to, wait, what?
Yeah, if my sister knew him, if my sister loved this man so much that she told him that, she taught him that whistle.
Yeah.
To the point that, that's not just like, oh, we had a whistle and she'd do this back. That is, she taught him it. It's like, this is what it was.
Yeah,
just
that's
like diffused
a lot
everything.
Completely.
Everything.
Like the whole scene just swatches around. It's like, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you. Oh my god, you actually really were that close to my sister.
And she says like to him, like, you got to spend so much time with her. She didn't say it, but I was expecting her to say, it's so unfair. Like, why didn't I get that? But she didn't. One of the things that's interesting, she kind of puts her gun away and helps him up. There isn't a kind of embrace. There isn't a kind of like,
no,
oh my god, thank you so much for, anything. She just walks off.
Yeah, she just disappears.
I got no idea what's next for Elena, because she's failed to carry out the contract she was on.
Yeah. So
does she go back to that company and go, he got away, sorry, give me a different one? Or is she now rethinking what she's been doing? What happens next? Because there's part of me that when Barton showed up to the house and he turned around and said, are you coming? I thought that might have been Elena with him.
There was, when he said that, I was like, it's surely going to be Kate, but there was that little bit inside that went, it could be. It could be his sister.
Or both of them getting out of the car, like, okay, here we are. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, they're going to be the most chaotic duo in history.
Yes.
This is going to be amazing. And then the final thing was going to be announcing Hawkeye and the Black Widow Season 2 coming soon, and I'd have just exploded.
Yeah.
Those two, a whole series together, would be hilarious.
The Bishop Belova show, yeah.
Oh, the Bishop Belova. Yes. It's just basically a cooking show all about making, rad mac and cheese.
Yes.
With hot sauce.
With lots of
but as it is, he takes Kate home to the family. He makes it home for Christmas. Did you find that scene when he gets there joyful? Or did you have a moment of absolute terror? Because I did.
No, I was just joyful. I didn't have any terror.
Okay, so he drives out this thing. They get there. He gets out the car. Everything's dead. And I had this moment of thinking, surely they've seen his car pull up. Why hasn't anyone come running out of the house?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Kingpin via Maya had the No way! Don't end the show like this.
He
don't
walks
do
in
this
and it's
to me.
just Maya
And they're
sat there
dead.
with a sword.
Or just them all dead. I'm like, oh no, don't do this. And then he goes like, are you coming? And Kate's there and Pizza Dog's there, and I'm like, oh no, don't do this. And then the kids go, Dad. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, this whole time we've been terrified of him not making it home to Christmas, and then all of a sudden I'm like, what if he makes it home to Christmas and they've been murdered? Oh no. I think I've been watching the Marvel Netflix shows again. I think I'm perhaps in that darkness.
You're watching The Punisher, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I am. yeah. Basically, where families get murdered on a regular basis. Yeah. So I'm glad. I'm glad for Clint that he doesn't exist in that universe, because he'd have come back to Carnage.
See, I wonder with Yelena's character. I think I sent you my theory of the fact that everyone that's got a movie out, it has been part of a trilogy. Yeah, 3 Iron Men, 3 Captain America. There was 3 Thor, but he's now getting a 4th. Guardians of the Galaxy's got a trilogy. Doctor Strange, we've got the 2nd one, and they're really talking about the 3rd. Ant-Man, they've got the 3rd one coming out. So it's like they like to do things in trilogies.
Yeah.
And I said to you, I think that Yelena is going to take over the Black Widow trilogy. I think they will make Black Widow 2 and Black Widow 3, but I feel like it'll be Yelena carrying the torch of that character.
Well, there is a very strong rumour that the project that Scarlett Johansson, the secret project that Scarlett Johansson is working on with Kevin Feige, could be to do with the Black Widow going forward.
Yeah, and I'd like to see Yelena being able to carry on from that and being like, right, this is all the stuff my sister did, finding out and learning, even if from Barton or from someone else, learning everything that Natasha did that was good.
Yeah.
And then her being, I'm going to carry on my sister's work sort of thing, and going forward, that could be really fun.
Yeah, big time it can be. I mean, it's open. It's open to see where it goes. She could easily rock up in so many different ways.
Oh, yes.
It's good. I loved it. And the ending's great. And of course, we got the big ending where
the after credits scene.
Hands over.
Oh
no, I'm not talking about that. Clint hands over the watch to his wife, and she turns it over, and there's a Stuff and Grit Shield logo on it, and 19.
And he says
she should look after your stuff.
Yes.
So that's hers.
She is Mockingbird.
Agent 19, also known as Mockingbird from the comic. We were right. She was an agent.
Tony Stark called it. Tony Stark called it Age of Ultron.
Yeah, she's an agent. These are smaller agents.
But this is the thing. He actually says it. In Age of Ultron, he says she's an agent, and everyone kind of goes, ha ha ha. We've now come, 5-6 years later?
Yeah, Tony was right. This is why Doctor Strange killed him off. He was too good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still on board the conspiracy theory that Doctor Strange knew loads of ways to beat Thanos, but just wanted to get rid of Tony Stark.
Like, without giving any spoilers to the Spider-Man film, but if you're a fan, you should have seen it by now. Without giving any spoilers to that, we all know that the film of Spider-Man is because Peter Parker asks for a spell for everyone to forget he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Why did no one ask Doctor Strange just to go, can you do a spell to make Thanos forget he wants to kill half the universe? Could that be done? Could that be a thing? Or,
no, it couldn't work. Same reason why Ant-Man couldn't crawl up Thanos' ass and explode him from the inside out. It just doesn't work.
There's something up my nose.
Yeah, boom. Yeah, goodbye, sunshine.
Yeah.
Agent 19, Mockingbird. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans, of course, screamed at that point because it's like, that's Bobby.
It's Bobby!
Oi, it's Bobby. I got a feeling at some point they are going to address Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in a way, but I don't know how they're going to do it, because they can't say that it's an alternate timeline. They can't, alternate reality, because of course
it's Coulson.
There is crossover. Fury crosses over, all sorts happen, and Bobby is introduced before they start doing the whole time shifting nonsense.
Yeah. So it's difficult. I think the easiest way for them to do it is going to be like the Captain America title. Whoever holds the shields. Yeah. Therefore, there is a Mockingbird. There is a someone else. There is a someone else, and it's just a case of Laura Barton.
She retired to have a family.
Yeah. Yep. So the next Mockingbird was Bobby.
Yeah, was Bobby. I'm with you. I agree. I think the timeline could work with that as well.
Yeah.
Pizza Dog is referred to as Lucky.
Yes!
In this episode.
I geeked out a little bit on that.
We see the Ronin suit get burnt.
Yeah.
And we have Kate coming up with lots of cool names for herself.
Lady Hawk.
Just for the series to end with Barton saying, I've got an idea, and it ends with the Hawkeye logo, bang, on the screen.
Yeah.
So I think his idea is, I'm retiring to this farm, have a good time, you're now Hawkeye.
I think so.
Yeah. And then we have this shit after credit scene I don't want to talk about.
It's amazing! It was so good. It was the whole scene. And I realised in that moment that if that was actually a real thing, man, have my money. I would go and watch that, and I would walk out going, I would walk out going, that was shit. But my God, it was so good.
I could do this all day.
Smash! Smash!
I have been singing that frickin' song.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, but the thing is there's a thing that comes up that says Happy Holidays from all at Marvel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're literally just putting the song, aren't they? There isn't. But then it kept showing the crowd, and I'm like, I've got to watch the end, because there's going to be, like, the last scene's going to be like Daredevil, and he's sat next to Luke Cage, and they're like, damn, I don't remember it being like this, or I remember there being less singing, or maybe it's going to be Elena, and Elena's like just emotional because she's watching Nat on the stage. I'm like, all of these things I'm thinking it could be, and it was none of it. It was none of it.
I was partly expecting it being Scott and his daughter, and his daughter just being like, I thought you said you weren't there. I wasn't.
Well, no, he was.
He was, apparently.
He went back in time.
Well, yeah.
So this is the thing that makes me laugh, because clearly the person who wrote the show spotted Ant-Man there.
Yeah.
But that was because he went back in time.
Yes.
So he does rock up, and like Barton's like, he wasn't there. Yes, he was, dude. Yeah. You were on Voromir at the time.
Yes.
He did show up.
Technically, he was there for a little bit. Yeah.
Technically, he was there. Yeah. And someone clearly saw him and added him to the show.
But we're sat there the whole time, and the music keeps going, you know.
Yeah.
Hawkeye hit the bullseye, because that's just what you do.
Shut up, man! I don't need this.
It's brilliant.
It's as bad as Agatha. Agatha all along.
But the whole time we're sat there going, who's going to be in the crowd? Who's going to be in the crowd? Is it going to be Deadpool?
Nobody.
Could it be Deadpool?
Nobody was
Could
there.
Deadpool be sat there like, what the? Nothing. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? The credits.
Well,
what?
Yeah, there's another potential meme for us. But anyway, I'm done. I can't talk about that series.
Mate, I could do it all day.
And on that note, I want to say a massive thank you again to everybody who's listened to us on Marvel Mondays. Delighted to say, obviously, there is a lot of Marvel content going into 2022. Disney Plus series galore, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, which I'm very much looking forward to, and lots more. You're also going to hear us talk about a couple of films coming up soon. The Eternals movie, you'll have a show about that from us in January. And also Spider-Man Far From Home will not be far behind that. But mate, I just want to say a big thank you to you for always being there to talk Marvel with me on Marvel Mondays on our podcast.
It has been a pleasure. I look forward to the next one.
This podcast rolls on. We talk the Walking Dead universe. We talk so much more. The Witcher shows are coming very soon, where we're talking about season 2. Check our website. Check the social medias. We're on TikTok, and we're doing lots of stuff on there for the new year. So keep an eye on all things. Until then, I hope everyone has a happy and safe new year. Take care.
Save the city, help us win. Save us all from the state with.
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Things podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Things podcast to join in our conversation every week.